Introducing Mr. Money.
Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Pure jungle.
We now take a look at some of the stories that are making headlines. Lusaka woman is a source of income. The Drug Enforcement Commission raids Chibolia compound again, arresting 42 suspected drug dealers. PF lacks financial discipline to run Zambia, charges Unza lecturer. In international news, Ebola cases could reach up to 1.4 million next year. For these and many more stories, do stay tuned. detail. Some women trading in recycled commodities have challenged others to look beyond white-collar jobs for their welfare. The traders selling used meal sacks and beverage bottles in Lusaka's Mandevu compound say it is unfortunate that people want to blame government for their failure. They say the PF notion of creation of jobs and more money in the pockets have been misinterpreted as no person can benefit from government if they do not want to do anything about their well-being. The traders have called on other people to emulate them and venture in businesses that even others shun but are able to earn a decent living from it. We have more in the following report.
As
the old adage goes, life is how you make it. While others are feeling sorry for their unfortunate situations, some are making it by going beyond just blaming politicians. Some women in Lusaka's Mandevu compound have ventured in Masaka trading to feed their families and make ends meet. They believe that the PF's promise of more money in the pocket does not call for relaxation but fending for one's well-being.
Ndiye pamene tidyesera vana kulipira manyumba vonse pa umoyo watu tisita depend Masaka not business ina.
Se business yatu ndiye imonga mwaipeza. Ise nthawi ya chipale tilibe yamene chiteni business ya doti yamene mwaona imomona monga ndoti but ife ni ndrama. The government tingini nayo na nchito kamba kakuti iti yanganira but stinga chite depend mu government yayi ndaba banakamba ati more money in your pockets si banakamba ati ja more money tizaka enda kwa ndani wakatikire ndrama matumba ndise kuzisakirira mwambera ise kuzisakirira ndiye more money ija si banakamba ati bazaka endo tupasa yayi.
In the face of all this, some still feel they still need support from government and other well-wishers in providing a roadmap for financial support.
Tikulisira bana mungawaone bana mwane walili hapa. Bonse wakulu baenda kuma skulu, baenda kuti ni pamene hapa. So mukatipasa kwa maloni, tingapeleka business tingazienda kuma farm kupeleka kuti kwambiri kwa tingazipeleka ngati tiliko na capital ikulu ngati mwatandizira. So ife ni pempo kwa iboma. Ni pempo kwa boma kwamba kuti please titukuleni koni ife wana wa mziko lanu lino la Zambia.
Monga ine size yanga mayuta amena kuba nikawara chabe chifuka chani mvelani youth ufuniko watamanga wasakirako ndrama wapara ukako so apa tifuna kuwacha Masaka why nezinenda kuba mina kubera muntu ni tamanga nisagire ku Masaka na washa na shitabwanji ukaona uyuthi amena kuba nikawala chabe.
While others are calling on government and other stakeholders to give them white-collar jobs, this group behind me, calling themselves the Masaka traders, have proved that they can make it. They are able to feed their families out of this trading in Masaka, as they call it. Out of this, they are able to feed their families. They are able to take their children to school. While you are waiting for a white-collar job, this group is making it. Martha Namanje, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
Thank you, Martha, for that report. MMD former Youth Secretary Tobias Kafumkache has charged that the Patriotic Front government has achieved a lot since coming into power. Mr. Kafumkache, who has joined PF, indicates that the PF has brought development, as can be seen from the construction of roads in the country. He says since independence, no party has ever worked on roads like what the PF has done in the last 3 years. Mr. Kafumkache adds that he decided to leave MMD because the party is full of dreamers and cannot go anywhere. He says it will not do for the MMD to keep dreaming, hence they failed to implement all the projects when they were in power. Mr. Kafumkache was speaking during Prime TV Daybreak program in Lusaka.
The PF government has done unprecedented development. Ever since I was born, I've never seen certain things being done. For instance, you know, where I come from, we have had no roads since independence. And here's a president that gives a people a good road. Perfect road. The other day I was traveling to Chirundu. I used the new road. It's beautiful. When you're in it, you feel like you're abroad, but alas, I'm here in Zambia. Now, I know that President, His Excellency, Mr. President Marco Chufyasata, he wants to ensure that he modernizes this country. That's his dream, to modernize Zambia. And I am agreeing with him with that in terms of that vision. And Zambia has lagged behind for a long time.
A health giver at Mandevu Health Center has noticed that most children in the country that are born are malnourished and underweight. Esnera Lengalenga, a health caregiver at the center, says most of the children born at the center are underweight and malnourished. Ms. Lengalenga adds that it is worth noting that the children that are born underweight are taken care of when they come to the clinic by the health providers. She says it is important that mothers should be educated about the importance of feeding and taking good care of their children. Ms. Lengalenga was speaking to Prime TV News in an interview. According to UNICEF statistics, about 45% of children below the age of 5 are stunted due to malnutrition. More are likely to be stunted if nothing is done. And this is because malnutrition in some parts of the country has become common. Just in Mandevu compound, children under the age of 5 are usually malnourished. And because of this trend, Mandevu Health Center has come in, trying to help children have good health. Children are brought at the clinic by their mothers for checkups, and mothers from the community are taught on the importance of feeding and caring for their children. Mandevu Health personnel, Esnera Lengalenga, says most children that are brought at the center are usually underweight.
Vana vali underweight nthawi zambiri timavathandizira ku peanut pa Friday. Venangu ngati saoneka bwino nutritious na bebe amabwera pa Friday kupaswa peanut. Then timachita advise na kuvaleta nthawi zonse kuti wakazionekera ku sisters vatithandizira mwamene tingaphunzitsire vaja vana movasungira. That's why timafuna all the time vana vabwera ku under 5. Na mai wa mwana atamuza mosungira uja mwana ngati sinamuone bwino uja mwana. So timapikako nopika vokudya, timapikako rice, taisankhaniza na carrots na spinach kuthandizira vaja vanaoneka kuvimba vimba so.
Gwen Mwila reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka. A university lecturer, Cholwe Beyani, has accused the PF government of lacking financial and fiscal discipline to run this country. Dr. Beyani, who is also UPND Director of Research, says the PF government's poor planning and lack of prioritization of key issues is a clear manifestation of their inability to govern. He says instead of concentrating on stabilizing the economy, the PF has concentrated on the creation of districts, which he said has been a drain on the treasury as there was no allocation for new districts in the last budget. Dr. Beyani said this when he featured on a live program dubbed The Oxygen of Democracy on Prime TV.
The PF government, the entire cabinet, has increased its salaries 3 times in 3 years. Now, surely, what have they done that's so phenomenal as to demand or to deserve such a salary increase when most of our people are mired in poverty? You look at our compounds, the state of health and life. Can you say that this employment creation has changed Mississippi, has changed Kaunda Square, has changed, all these compounds? They've remained the same way they have. So it means PF has made no impact.
And speaking at the same platform, Forum for Democracy and Development spokesperson Antonio Mwanza challenged the PF to inform the nation on how they have utilized the 750 million kwacha bond. Mr. Mwanza states that it is clear that the money has not been well utilized, judging from what is currently being obtained on the ground. He said the PF seems to be using the money on consumption rather than projects that can generate profit for the loan incurred to be serviced.
There's total indiscipline in the PF when it comes to spending public resources. We have a 750 million euro bond, which today cannot be accounted for, because there are no clear-cut systems and mechanisms that this government has put in place to ensure that money that is meant for public use is used according to the budget lines. We have had $1 billion bond, which this government has sourced, which they can't tell us how that money has been used. They told us about the $750 million bond. How did they use the $750 million bond? I would just take one piece. They started a luxury life. Professor Chirwa was renting a house for 72,000 kwacha every month, paid from the US dollar bond. We were told $120 million was given to ZESCO to improve its capacity in terms of generation. We still experience load sheddings every day. So there is no accountability, there's no transparency.
Before we go for our first break, we have a look at the stories making headlines once again. Lusaka woman resort to sack trading as main source of income. DEC raids Chibolia compound again, arresting 42 suspected drug dealers. PF lacks financial discipline to run Zambia, charges UNZA lecturer. Do join me after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. The Drug Enforcement Commission has arrested 42 people in Lusaka's Chibolia compound for trafficking in various quantities of cannabis. Those arrested include Samson Mawele, 24, for trafficking in cannabis weighing 1.2 kg, and an 18-year-old boy for trafficking 804 grams of loose cannabis. Others arrested and jointly charged are Memory Sakala, 25, a housewife, and Humphrey Banda, 21, for trafficking in cannabis weighing 2.953 kg. Also arrested is Timothy Singoi, 32, of Kanyama compound, for trafficking in 455 grams of cannabis, Kingsley Sisuku, 28, also of Kanyama compound, for trafficking in 192 grams of cannabis, and Victor Kangali, 21, of the same area, for trafficking in 168 grams of cannabis. The 42 suspects were apprehended after DEC conducted 2 operations in Chibolia compound, according to a statement availed to Prime TV by DEC Public Relations Officer Teresa Katongo. Indian Member of Parliament Manmohan Sharma has expressed happiness with Planned Parenthood Association of Zambia's initiative to treatment and medication to the community. Mr. Sharma says it is interesting that the association has engaged members of parliament from different countries to see how Zambia is struggling with the medication and measures in family planning. He has charged that Zambia must learn from India, where medication and treatment of patients is more advanced and family planning is not taught by anyone, as people are expected to know. Mr. Sharma was speaking to Prime TV News in an exclusive interview in Lusaka.
We come to know that how the grassroots level these things are happening, and we compare with our own country. That is, I come from India, and India also we have in the rural area such kind of clinics by the Planned Parenthood, Family Planning Association of India, and other agencies, and it's really something to compare. It's a good, but we have much more in advanced stage. We have much more good in a good, much more organized way with the help of the Government of India, with the help of UNFPA, WHO, and the other agencies.
And Planned Parenthood Association of Zambia Director of Programs, Henry Kaimba, says the initiative is to bring hope and change in Zambia. Mr. Kaimba says different members of parliament from different countries have visited Mandevu Community Outreach Center to witness the distribution of free medication and give family planning to mothers. He says members of parliament started visiting Mandevu Clinic this week with hopes of ensuring that medication is taken closer to the people. Mr. Kaimba says the association will continue on embarking on family planning to inform masses and help communities. He was speaking to Prime TV News in Lusaka.
You know, the organization started family planning in this country way back in the 70s. And I think we have been doing fine, but it's also maybe for other people to look at and, you know, for the government to realize, you know, what is happening, and also just to offer each other, you know, encouragement from other countries in terms of what we are doing. And they have been invited to Zambia by the Zambia All-Party Parliamentarians Group on Population and Development. They are looking at, you know, capacity building in terms of how are we integrating, you know, population issues into development plans, you know, of countries.
Before we go for a second break, still to come in the news, U.S. President Barack Obama has affirmed his country's commitment to a coalition it is leading against the Islamic State in Iraq and Levant, ISIL group. Do join me shortly.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Welcome back, and now for the rest of the news. Ebola cases could reach up to 1.4 million by late January 2015, up from the current total of 5,800 according to a new study by a U.S. medical agency. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, released a report on Tuesday suggesting that Ebola cases could increase to between 550,000 and 1.4 million in 4 months, based on several factors, including how many people are infected by Ebola carriers. The report questions whether the official number of deaths recorded by the World Health Organization, 2,800 out of at least 5,800 Ebola cases, has been underreported. CDC has said it is likely that 2.5 times as many cases, or nearly 20,000, have occurred so far. U.S. President Barack Obama has affirmed his country's commitment to a coalition it is leading against the Islamic State in Iraq and Levant ISIL group. Barack Obama, in addressing world leaders in the annual General Assembly of the United Nations in New York, Obama says the USA will be a respectful and constructive partner of the Arab world and not act as an occupying power during the confrontation of ISIL. The speech, while touched by a chain of crises facing the international community, including the return of Cold War specters amidst the armed conflict between Russia and Ukraine. It also touched on the outbreak of deadly Ebola virus and climate change, and Obama's focus on the ISIL sets the stage for a Security Council meeting later in the day. For more on international news, we monitored Al Jazeera.
2 car bombs have killed at least 13 people in Iraq. It happened in the city of Mahmoudiya, south of Baghdad. The level of violence is now at its worst since 2007. The United Nations Security Council has resolved to stop foreigners being recruited to fight for the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. The special session in New York was chaired by US President Barack Obama. An ISIL-linked group is being blamed for the killing of a French hostage in Algeria. The French president says Hervé Gaudel's murder is cruel and cowardly. François Hollande says he'll organise a special security meeting in Paris on Thursday to discuss the killing. The group has demanded France stop its military action against ISIL in Iraq. The United States is expecting Afghanistan's president-elect to sign a security agreement as early as next week. Ashraf Ghani has indicated he will sign the deal. The agreement allows 10,000 American troops to remain in the country after all US combat forces withdraw at the end of this year. Houthi rebels in Yemen are consolidating their control of the capital, Sana'a. They've taken over the office of the country's largest oil company, but the government is denying reports that Houthis have taken the national security headquarters. Indonesian lawmakers are expected to vote to abolish direct elections for mayors and regional governors. Critics say it is an affront to democracy.
Well, that's all we had for you on Prime TV's main news. But before I leave, here are the headlines. Lusaka woman resort to sack trading as main source of income. DEC raids Chibolia compound, again arresting 42 suspected drug dealers. PF lacks financial discipline to run Zambia, charges UNZA lecturer. Ebola cases could reach up to 1.4 million next year. Well, on behalf of the news team and technical team, this has been Gwen Mwila. But before I leave you with the weather report, courtesy of the Zambia Meteorological Department. God bless.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly.
Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly.
Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly.
Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.